we're back, and this is live at the Center from the Center for Performing Arts in Rhinebeck. This is our September show, and it's all about everything that's happening in September. First off, opening actually on August the 28th, you open, right? August 28th is the Rodgers and Hammerstein classic musical Carousel, which is apparently Oscar Hammerstein's favorite, so I've heard.
That's right.
And this is Andy Weintraub. Andy is the founder of the Center, also the Rhinebeck Theater Society, and he is directing this production of Carousel, and he also built the set. He's doing the lights. He's going to be performing a surprise Chojite somewhere in the second act. So, Andy, this show, we did this how many times? Once before?
We did it here at the Center once
before.
Right.
And then you did it at the library.
We did it at the Morton Library once before.
Right.
So this
Why
is the third
do it
time.
again? Is 3 the charm?
Well, you could ask the Metropolitan Opera why they...
Why? Because there's only 25 operas, that's why.
That's right.
So why again?
Why again? Like Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein, it happens to be my favorite Rodgers and Hammerstein show. And why not? It's been a long time. It's been 13 years since we did it.
That long? Really?
That's right.
Oh,
and so that's a good enough time to bring it back.
And why is anything different about this one? Something we haven't seen before?
Well, yeah, there is something different about it. We're focusing on the dramatics as well as the music. The music is classic, and a lot of people know the music, although speaking to a few people before, they say they've never seen the show, which is encouraging.
These people?
These people.
These people have not
They've
seen
never seen the show.
Carousel?
Laura has seen it. I'm sorry. These young people here have
Young
never
people.
seen the show.
We might as well
And-
introduce who these people
and-
are. This is Laurie Friedman, this is Joel Hanna, and this is Christy Kowalski, and they're about to, as soon as Andy tells us a little more about Carousel, they're going to talk about something they're doing in September, which is a dance piece called The Thing About Art. See? Third year? Fourth year. Fourth year. We've done it for 4 years now, and it's always a delight. And Christy's been with us before, just finished choreographing The Producers, which was in May. Were you on board last year for this?
I was it.
You what? Did you choreograph last
I
year?
choreographed and I danced it.
Did I interview you last year?
No, you didn't.
I did not, so that's fine. And you're new to this?
Well, I'm new to
This piece?
this piece.
Yeah, right. So we didn't see you last year.
No, you haven't seen it.
All right, so we'll get to them in a second. So what are we seeing that's different? We're going to concentrate on the drama,
Well-
even though the music is classic, but these people don't know the music because they're all of an age. That's why.
Nobody in my cast has ever seen the show
Really?
live. I think a few of them have watched the movie with Gordon MacRae and Shirley
Right.
Jones, but nobody's ever seen the show. The music had to be learned. It wasn't as if they could come in and just sing it.
So they didn't pull these songs out because some of them are in the songbook. I mean, they didn't
Oh,
know.
sure.
Yeah.
But the songbook isn't often opened by
Yeah.
people.
This is the Great American Songbook we're talking about. Those standard hits. You go to any lounge act, anywhere, you're going to hear from the songbook.
That's
So, can I ask you if you want to talk about this? Last time you didn't want to talk about it, but this play's a little itchy.
Well, it's got a lot of themes.
Yeah.
Rodgers and Hammerstein did not shy away from real problems,
Right.
real issues. I mean, look at any one of their shows. It's all about the culture. It's
Nazis
all
and nuns.
Nazis,
Sound of music. Nazis and nuns.
Sound of Music,
Right.
Prejudice in South Pacific,
Right.
Cultural Clash and King and I.
King and I,
I
right.
mean, you can go down the list. And this one,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma,
Yeah.
that same problem.
Right.
This is kind of an expansion of the Oklahoma themes. It's a lot about the community. You have songs like "It Was a Real Nice Clam Bake," the whole
Right.
community's together. June is busting out all over. The
Right.
whole community is involved in this. But there are also other themes. Spousal abuse.
Well, that's what I was going to talk about. I mean, one of the reasons people shy away from this play is that Billy is I don't want to be judgmental, but in today's society he would not be considered the nicest guy in the world.
Well, he really isn't in the play either. Billy has a very dark side, and it shows in the play. Of course, he's a very innocent type. He's very easily influenced. He's influenced by Jigger Cragin, not Craven, although that play of words is
Right.
certainly. Jigger Cragin is evil personified, and he influences Billy, and I won't go into a lot of the details. But on the other side of the picture is Mr. Snow, Mr. and Mrs. Snow, the just polar opposite of Billy Bigelow. Mr. Snow is a hardworking, entrepreneurial guy who raises a family of 9 kids, and so these contrasts are very real in Carousel.
Well, and in a lot of the other plays too. I mean, in Oklahoma, there's Judd,
There's
and
Judd.
there's Curly. I
Right.
mean, the two opposite extremes of the cowboy.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
And the cowman and the farmer.
Right, right. So who's in this show? Who do we know?
Well, we have Liz Thomas, who's playing Julie, and Chris Vallone, who's playing Billy. We have Jovan Bradley, who is playing Mr. Snow. We have Alexandra Haynes, who is playing Nettie, Julie's cousin, and we have Alexandra Heinen, who is playing Carrie, and finally, that evil guy, Jigger Cragin, is Jeremy Rattel.
Oh, Jeremy.
Jeremy, his first big major role, and
How cool.
he's quite wonderful.
Yeah, I bet he is. I bet he is. I worked with Jeremy in Equivocation, and he was fabulous in that. So this opens on the 28th of August, and it runs
Opened
through
already.
September. Well, it will by the time you air this. Well, maybe you'll air it a little early, a day or two early. August 28th to September 20. It's a 4-week run, right?
Right.
8 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 3 p.m. on Sunday. Tickets are $27, $25. You know what to do. 845-876-3080. Tuesday through Friday, noon to 5. Saturday, 1 to 5. 24 hours a day online. Centerforperformingarts.org. And you know what I calculated the other day? 60% of all our tickets now are online. 60% online, only 30% through the box office, only 10% people walk up to the door.
We've entered the modern.
We are in the modern era. All right, so going from a show that we know based on
Is it Czech?
Ferenc Molnar is a Czech playwright.
Lilium, yes.
Yeah, Lilium is the original play. Burgess Meredith on Broadway 111 years
Really?
ago. Yep.
Didn't know that.
Going from something that we know to something we don't know because it's all brand new. A great choreographer's showcase. It's our 4th year, as she has just informed me. The Thing About Art. See? I love it. It's got that edge. The Thing About Art. See? A little tough. Edgy, energetic, electrifying. Nice alliteration there. Presentation of dance, myriad styles, jazz, Irish, contemporary, just to name a few. And Christy is not choreographing, but she is dancing this year. Joel is choreographing. Lori is choreographing. So why don't we start with the choreographing? What have you created and in what style is it?
You're referring to me?
I'm talking to you.
Wonderful. Well, let me just tell you that Christy's not, actually she is choreographed.
She is?
My piece, all the dancers have choreographed their own solos.
Oh, cool.
We work together, we improvise together for a number of sessions. And then the material we developed, they went and made their own solos, which is sort of the backup for our piece, which is an improvisatory dance. It's group work, solo work.
So it's going to cover myriad styles then, if they're
Well,
all going
it's
on.
modern.
It's a modern piece, okay.
Yeah, modern based.
Okay.
And it's 5 dancers that show up. Should I be looking at you? Should I be looking at
Look
the
at
camera?
the camera.
I'll look at the camera. 5 dancers who show up in the space at the same time, and they have their movement conversation, and each time it's different.
Cool.
So, I think also as part of their process, I introduced them to the I Ching.
To the what?
To the I Ching.
The I Ching. Okay.
So they through the I Ching for ideas about their piece, how they're going to structure it.
So as a
what
teacher,
it's
you
about.
did that. It's not a conceit of the dance piece. In other words,
No, it's,
it is a conceit.
yes.
So that's your frame.
Yes, that's
Cool.
the frame.
Very good. And Joel, what are you doing? What kind of piece are you choreographing?
I have two, potentially three. But right now, as it stands, there's two solid pieces. One is a rhythmical piece with 5 dancers in it, and it's interesting because when I choreograph rhythmically, I do it with like verses and choruses, and we'll say like in this piece, all the choruses are done in either 2-part counter rhythms or 5-part layered rhythms. So it's interesting for me in this system of movement and rhythm at the same time that the rhythm and the movement they're a binary relationship, whereas like with a lot of rhythmical dances it's separate. Like a lot of the times what you're looking at isn't as interesting as it sounds, and those two things are kind of mutually exclusive. So I tried to create a thing that was visually as appealing as it was rhythmically. And then when you're looking at this, where it's the rhythmical pieces, it has a little bit of a flamenco feel with the music. You can't decipher who's doing what when, because all the parts are integral to the whole. Right? And then in the verses, everyone scatters and creates a better rhythm for the soloist, and the verses are done in solo. And then we come together again for choral choruses.
And what is the music that you're using?
It's called Obsession Confession by Slash from Guns N' Roses, and it's interesting because when I say that, it's like people are thinking Guns N' Roses and Slash, but he was actually originally classically trained, and his classical and flamenco training is impeccable. And in this piece, it's really beautiful. I found this piece of music probably 15 years ago at a museum in Australia, and it's been in my brain ever since. And then all of a sudden, a few months ago, when I was planning this piece, it showed up and it was perfect.
So tell me more. I mean, it almost sounds like you're exploring the conflict and then the relationship between what movement is in relationship to what rhythm is. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. In the rhythmical piece, it is very much about that. It's because when we think of the rhythmical styles of dance, like offhand, the top 3: Irish dance, tap dance, and flamenco.
Right. Sure.
Right. There's a visual that comes with that. As soon as you think of those, like Irish dance, it's ubiquitous, like rigid body and spastic legs. Tap dance, it seems to be laid back down and back with your balance, and it's all about the sonic component being a jazz instrument mostly. And with flamenco, it's about the duende, like in the power and expressing that. And for the last few years, with the Danby project and being able to have this intimate relationship that we've had, there's been this constant journey of trying to figure out a system of movement that was as equally and beautifully rhythmical as it was visual. So those languages were spoken at the same time. And with my training being eclectic as it was, I brought up classically as an Irish dance, and I say classical Irish dance because I think it's an important distinction to make. And then going into flamenco and tap, and I was also brought up a martial artist, so like my movement of contemporary styles it's lending itself toward a certain style, and I wanted to always never separate yourself physically from the music you're performing to, and never separate yourself musically from the performance that you're giving the audience. Otherwise, you might as well be tap dancing on the other end of the phone.
Sure.
Which is so interesting because I'm using music as a sound score in the background, and the dancers are not paying attention to the music other than using it as inspiration.
That's fascinating. I was listening to WHT the other day, and somebody has a new take on Rite of Spring, and it's very heavy, more accent on percussion, and it's almost like double time of what I heard before.
Really?
And I had to remind myself that this is originally a ballet. We very rarely see it as a ballet now. It's become a symphonic piece.
Absolutely.
And I was listening to it and I was saying, how would anybody dance to that? How would they do that?
When they did it, they said the same thing.
Well, they closed the theater.
Yeah.
It was it was Nijinsky.
It was Nijinsky,
originally
and it was in
choreographed and
Paris.
then was in it.
Yeah.
And it was a scandal. It was
Right.
a huge scandal. Huge scandal.
I think it's always really interesting to see how people express how they would articulate that music when they dance to it too. I've never seen anybody really emulate anybody else. Everybody really has their own specific take on it.
Yeah.
And I find always really interesting and inspirational. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
What style of martial art did you study?
Kung Fu.
Ah.
Kung Fu. I started with classical wushu, and then I went into Wing Chun, and that was where I kind of found my groove, you know. And for the second piece that I'm doing in the show, the movement piece we call it, I separate them for the movement, is very much that. I tried to capture the flowing momentum and perpetual motion of wushu kung fu and put it into a contemporary dance style. You know, so it would have the fluidity and the emotional content of contemporary dance, but have that really long, breathless extension of wushu. You know?
Yeah, I studied Shotokan for a very, very long
Really?
time. Yeah,
It's a hard style, man.
It's a very hard, very aggressive style.
Yeah.
But our sensei, who was Okinawan, I was only taught by Okinawans, always said, "This is the ballet, the ballet of karate." And when we watch kata and some of the kata that we perform, it's beautiful to watch.
It's the precision of the execution of kata and Shotokan. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I mean, Shotokan almost directly is like the cousin of Kung Fu, right? I mean, that's how the lineage went from the open hand to Okinawa and then to the rest of the schools of karate. So there is a beautiful lineage that you can trace it back to.
I'm way too old for that now. So you're dancing in Laurie's piece.
I am.
Are you in his piece too?
Not at the moment.
But
I
you
will
might be.
I might be.
We hope
Not
so.
at the moment. But yeah.
So what are you dancing in?
I'm currently only in 2 pieces. We have 10 different pieces in the show. From 10 different choreographers. I'm currently only in 2. I'm icing a back injury at the moment, so I'm a little,
What'd you
holding
do?
back a little bit. I have some disc problems in my lumbars, and they don't like to stay where they're supposed to stay, so.
That's twitchy
I'm
if you're a
sort of-
dancer.
Yeah, so I'm nursing that at the moment, but
Yeah.
it's not stopping me from performing. So at the current moment, I'm only in 2, but I hope to be in more in the future.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's 10 total.
So who are all the dancers? So we know who the choreographers are. Is Martha in this? Martha Tobias?
She is not.
Not
She
this
is not
year?
in this one.
Is
no.
Abby dancing?
Abby is not dancing, but she is, of course, choreographing, and it's going to be another wonderful piece.
Is it
another
a jazz
surprise.
40s
It
piece?
sure is.
Man,
Sure is.
she did a Hollywood canteen routine many, many, many years ago.
Okay.
Not in this showcase, but something that Elaine Colandrea had
Okay.
done.
Okay.
And it was just fabulous. It was a big
bet,
band
I
number.
bet.
Boy, was it
Yeah,
good.
I
It
bet.
was just great. Who's choreographing your show?
A new fellow for me anyway, Marcus Mcgregor.
Uh-huh.
He teaches ballet up in Hudson and in a couple of other places in Columbia and Greene County. And he's a former member of the Dance Theater of Harlem.
Okay.
And very tall, beautiful dancer. I hope to introduce him to
We'll
you.
have to recruit him for next year.
Yes, exactly. And he came in, recommended by Tracy Carney, whose daughter Jane is in the show. She plays
Well,
Louise.
Jane dances with, she's a,
She
is
does
she
some
part
work
of the
with
Dandy
us.
Project?
Not at the moment, but she does workshops
She
with
does
us.
work.
and she's
Okay,
in
in
and
any
out, so
event,
she's involved.
Jane has a featured role as a dancer in the show. And Marcus is her ballet instructor, and that's how it all came together. We were looking, and Tracy, Jane's mom, knew we were looking, so we got together, and he has a sense of theater as well as being a choreographer, which is
Great.
what we need.
And he's new. We always need new people. So this plays on Friday, September 25, and Saturday, September 26 at 8 p.m. Sunday, September 27 at 3 p.m. Tickets are $22 for adults, $20 seniors and children. And you always make reservations 845-876-3080. Tuesday through Friday between the hours of noon and 5. Saturday 1 to 5. 24 hours a day online. Center for Performing Arts.org. And I understand Leanne is going to be working with Tracy on the Eve Ensler piece. You know about that? We're doing, ladies and gentlemen, last year we did Vagina Monologues, and this year we're applying a grant to Eve Ensler. She has another piece. It's part of the Take Back the Night initiative, and we'll tell you more about that as we get closer to it. It's in the month of February, and Tracy Carney is directing it. It's a V event. I'm not exactly sure of the title, but it's a play with men and women. It is about violence, domestic violence issues, how we're all equally responsible and what we can do to make it not happen. And Leanne is Christy's sister, who is the head and founder of Danby, correct? And she's going to be choreographing something to go along with this piece. So once again, we have Carousel playing at the Center for Performing Arts, August 28th, September 20th, Friday, Saturday, 8 p.m., Sunday, 3 p.m. Tickets are $27, $25. Then we have the fourth The Thing About Art C, Choreography Showcase, 25th, 26th, 27th of September. Tickets are $22, $20. You always call us 845-876-3080. Online, centerforperformingarts.org. And we're going to go dark for 1 second. And when you come back, you're going to hear 2 numbers from Carousel. I want to thank Lori, Joel, Christy, Andy, and we'll see you next month.
His name is Mr. Snow, and an upstanding man is he. He comes home every night in his round-bottom boat with a net full of herring from the sea. An almost perfect beau, as refined as a girl could wish, but he spends
like show business like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing, everything the traffic will allow.